Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be automating these magic beans with integrated dynamics. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright guys, so we have quite a bit to get done today. I've spent a lot of time testing, and I think I've got integrated dynamics down quite well now, and I think I understand it enough to be able to get this kind of automated. And I think I can automate this fairly easy. But we're going to try and get a few things done. So, if we think about the process here and how to go about automating it, I know I'm going to need a plant sower. This is going to go down below here, and it's going to actually go and plant above here. So it's going to be planting these seeds. Once these seeds are planted, we need to wait for them to become fully grown. And then we need to have a way to tell whether they're fully grown and to give this a redstone signal. My plan is to only use one source plant to determine whether all of them are fully grown. Now, I know that this is not probably the best way to go about doing that, simply because none of these grow at the same rate, but I think that they will grow fairly close to the right rate, and I could use just one of them. It could be any of these, probably one that's away from a block, and I'll use that to determine whether all of them are done. And we're going to use integrated dynamics to do that, and we're going to give this a redstone signal once we figure out if this block is true. Now, this guy does break all these blocks, so they'll actually break them by hand, and we need to figure out what to do with all those items. So there's a couple of different methods that I can think of. One being using a chest, which is something that we can do, but we have to watch out because this guy will break everything that is within plant level. So we'll have to use something that does not bother, that doesn't have to set within this range. So that'll be something that we'll have to worry about as well. And I think I know exactly what to use for that. So I'm not too concerned there. The other thing is we need to pipe items back down into here, which it could be ugly. I'm not too concerned about the way it looks. I'm just more concerned about functionality. So let's get started. I've already talked way too much, and we should be able to get done with this today. Okay, so planter I know is going to go here. It's also going to need an upgrade. Now there are range upgrades, and it's already a 3x3. So what you need is an extra 3 ranged upgrade. So if we look at our upgrades, actually it should be industrial, yeah, foregoing right here. So I tested out a few upgrades, seeing how they actually work. I don't need this range upgrade. This guy is ridiculous. I will take this. So, yeah, that other range upgrade pretty much covers the entire base. That is how crazy this is. This is an actual 9x9. So what I can do is throw this in here. And then we need to get this energy, and we also need to have a way to configure each side. So I'm going to give myself some room so I can come back and walk around. And be able to access this and kind of get a few things going. So I know I'm going to need a connector here to give it power, and then I'm going to run a cable up along the wall and connect it into our network, and I can still access this. So that's the good part about it. I'm still able to access it, and I'm going to go ahead and give this guy some power. So let's find it in our power list. Let's see, where are you at? This is a petrified. Where is it at? It's in here somewhere. This right here. It's a stoneworks. It might actually be cover or empty. It's the controller. It's in the fuel generator. Plant gatherer. Not a plant gatherer, is it? That's all. It already got power. I don't even see it in the list. Is it not connected? Oh, here it is. All right, let's give it. I got so much stuff going on here. That's why I think this controller is a little bit crazy. I was wondering, oh, we're out of power. But this guy should be getting some kind of power. Let's make sure. No, it's not getting any power. Okay. This guy can be turned off. It looks like it's been gathering quite a few things. This is what's consuming all of our power, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not having enough power, so what I can do is get a lever and turn that off when we're not needing it. So let me go ahead and do that until we get some more power. Because I don't want this running non-stop, preventing us from having power. So I turn that off. Now that we should see our power start to rise again. Hopefully. Hopefully a lever turns this off, because I know it did before. It's going to fill this up till it's max, and then we're going to start getting some things going. Okay. Anyways, we're going to need 1 seed. Let me go ahead and grab this. And I'm going to use this as an example. And we should be able to put the seed in there and lock the inventory. So that way, we can keep this here. So, it's not gonna, nothing else is gonna go in there. Okay, now, once we got that done, let's go ahead and try and get into some integrated dynamics. And also make that, that chest, the Ender Hopper. So, I think that this Dark Utilities Ender Hopper works really good. I think that this guy has a pretty large range. And it goes on top of a chest, so we can configure the chest from there. Let's do... We're going to need a large chest, so an iron chest, most likely, is something that I'm going to need. There we go. Let's go ahead and make an iron chest and then upgrade it to... Go ahead and get an iron to gold upgrade. And then get a gold to diamond upgrade. Alright, so I always forget that I can't craft these glass. I can't click the EvilCraft button. But I went ahead and got all of this set up. Now I should be able to use a placer block and just place it here, and then place the chest 1 up, and it should not be disturbed at all. And I can go ahead and upgrade this thing from iron to gold, gold to diamond, and now we got a pretty large storage here that I'm not too concerned about. Now I can put the Ender Hopper up here, and I'm going to test it out. I'm going to place a block, and it should consume that block. I seen it, and now it's inside here. And hopefully it'll work all the way out to this range. It does. It looks like it does a 9x9, which is perfect. I think 1 out, though, it doesn't work. So it does do a 9x9 radius, and it does go down, which is exactly what I want. As you can see, it does work. Okay, so that problem is solved. Now I should be able to run pipes and stuff like that down and filter a few things out. But I actually want to get these things up and rolling, so let's get into integrated dynamics. I know that's what you guys have all been waiting for, and kind of understand how integrated dynamics work. So, integrated dynamics. So there's two integrated dynamic mods that are in here. They work in together with each other. You have integrated tunnels and along with integrated dynamics. We're going to work with just integrated dynamics today. There's no need for us to get into integrated tunnels, but this does look very cool. I did look at integrated tunnels, and it looks just as cool as integrated dynamics. This is more like exporting stuff into the world, and actually placing things in the world is kind of what that does. It writes. A lot of this is reads up here. So we're going to need a block reader today. Just one, and as you can see, we're also going to need some variable cards. And that requires the block crystallization. And if you guys don't remember how the crystallization happens or is made, you take this mineral wood, and you just jump on it inside of a squeezer, which is from the mod itself. And you jump on it until you see the liquid come inside the basin. And then you can put a pressure plate here, and it'll pop this thing back up. And then once this dries, we can get ourselves the crystallized mineral, which we're going to need a bit of, a good healthy amount. And this is going to be a pretty easy way of getting this. I don't know if you can get this any other way. I think there's other ways of getting it later on. Let's see, the squeezer gets you the resin. Is there any other way to get resin? I guess it's only through this method. So you're going to want to do that as much as you can to kind of get through here. Okay, but we should be able to bypass a lot of that, because if you actually have the book and you get a few of the items, it'll actually give you quite a few items inside the book. There's a reward section if you actually go through the book. Alright, so enough talking, let's try and get a few things done. So like I said, we're going to need a block reader. That's going to be one of the main things we need today. And we're also going to need a bunch of variable cards, and we're going to need a bunch of paper. So I'll grab a bunch of paper while I'm here. And we'll go ahead and get a few variable cards. I'm sure I'm going to have to break down a few of these blocks here. We do have, it looks like we had quite a few blocks, so that's a good thing. Alright, variable cards, I'll just need 24. That's all I need. I don't think I'm going to need any more than that. We're going to need a sticky piston, so of course a lovely piston. And I think I got, yeah, I got some of this stuff. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have some slime. Yeah, I do. There we go. And bam. We have some variable cards here, which you only need for crafting. So we get out of here. Alright, and we should be able to craft the block reader. Okay, so the block reader is what we need, and then we're also going to need a redstone writer. So looks like we need 2 blocks of redstone for the redstone writer. Oh, and we're going to need this guy. Oh, we're going to need another card. This is the other variable card. So let's go ahead and make that one. As soon as our achievements get out of the way. Now we have a redstone writer. So we have a block reader, redstone writer. We have some variable cards. We don't need any of those. We are going to need a variable store. So I should be able to get that. We're also going to need a logic programmer. So there we go for that. And then we're also going to need a materializer. So, oh, we're going to need another variable store. So let's get a materializer and another variable store, because we had to use it. Okay, so we're going to need these blocks here, and then we're also going to need some pipe. Probably not very many of them, but enough to get us through here. So I actually think this is just about enough stuff to get us through here. I'm going to go ahead and sleep, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we're set up here, we do know that this magical bean actually has growth rates, but we're going to completely ignore all of that in today's episode. And because you can actually set, these have like several, I think 7 different growth stages, and you can set it up to have each stage produce one, like a redstone signal. So the first stage is 0, the next stage is 1 redstone, and then so on. So you could do that, but we're going to do something totally different with this mod. And I hope you guys kind of catch on to what I'm doing by this end of this video. So here's the block reader. It is placed over top of the plant. I just shift clicked it over it, and if you notice, if you try to right click in it, you can't. You need to place a cable to turn it into a network. I usually do this. I don't know why I do that. Just place it on top. If I can get it to go on top, there we go. We kind of get rid of this one. So if you place this on top, now you can access all this information. I'll go over what that means here in just a second. Let's go ahead and get our network kind of spanned out here. So before I do anything, I want to demonstrate the stuff. So let me make sure that I get some cable right here, and I put my redstone writer right there, and we're going to bring this up, and we're going to connect it to this. I will definitely change the way this is looking here shortly, but we're going to have this network set up like so. Alright, we're going to put our variable storage right here, because we'll use that later, and we'll put our materializer right here for right now. And the logic programmer, it can go anywhere. It doesn't have to go anywhere special, but I'm going to put it right here. And we'll go over that in just a second. So we have a materializer, logic programmer, and variable storage. And I'm going to show you right now what we're going to do with all this. Okay, so here is our regular crop, and it's technically a block, so we're going to count it as a block. Now, each block has a name, and it also has an ID number associated with the block. And each stage has its own entity number or ID number, I guess you could say. So what we can do is we can go down here and we see that this block right now, it says Magic Bean Sprout. We're going to want to get a block variable. And so what you do, you put your variable card in here and you will get a block variable. Alright, so once we have this block variable, we can come over to our logic programmer, or not logic programmer, our materializer, and we can say, hey, I want this to stay a magical bean, and I'll take a variable card, and I'll make it a constant. So that way, because right now, this card right here will tell me anything that goes down here. So if I replace this with a piece of dirt, it would tell me now that this variable card is detecting a piece of dirt, and so this right here would basically represent a piece of dirt instead of the seeds that it is right now. So by me doing this, I'm making a card that will never change. So this will always be a sprout grown at the max. So whatever instance of the block it is right here. So that's what this did. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I can get another variable, which is, I mean, it's kind of hard to describe what this does. There's so much in here that I can't even go over everything. But we're going to go and use an equals. And I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit of what this means. So I'm going to make sure that whatever that block is, so whatever that the block right here, the block reader, whatever it reads equals the magical sprouts. Make sure that it is at its stage fully grown, and we're going to make a variable card for that. So this variable card is reading that it's a block, and the variable is basically to say, is it true or false? And that's what a Boolean actually means. It's like a true or false statement. So that we have those two cards there, and now we can make that setup. So you can leave this, and you're good to go. Now what you need to do is you need to put both of these variables inside of your storage. Both of these need to be in here for this to work. So the next thing you know, you're going to take this actual variable card that you just made in here, and you're going to stick it inside your redstone emitter. And as you can see, it says redstone true. So if we get some redstone, I'll demonstrate what this does. If we get some redstone, we can place it in front of here. Now, if we break this crop, it's no longer true. And I'll even show that if you place the seed here, it's still no longer true. Only will it be true, the only time it'll be true is if the crop is fully grown. So let's get some bone meal. And we'll make sure that crop is fully grown. And once it becomes fully grown, this redstone signal, let's get it all the way there. One more, and it will turn on. As you can see, it recognizes it as fully grown, and it will work. So, what I can do is I can move this guy and place it underneath our network cable, or I can actually just move the cable over here, and I can just move the rider. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just move the rider, and it should be good to go. Okay, so it's fixing to happen. We're fixing to have some magic happen here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this redstone, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this guy right here, and it should require redstone signal. I think if we set this to true, actually we need to set it to false. I kind of don't want to. The problem I'm going to have with it is when this guy is just going to pulse. So that's going to be an issue. So once this one gets broken, I'm going to have an issue. So let's do a 9x9. So if this one gets broken, it's going to stop the redstone signal, and I don't want that to happen. So I think I can set a timer up here. I can set a frequency, and so it should stay on. Like if this redstone signal is emitted, it'll emit a redstone signal, I'll say for, I'll just put it for 60 ticks or more. Actually more than that. I'll do 200 ticks and see what that does, because that could change everything. But I'm going to try this. I'm going to try and have it set up there. Alright, let's actually break this because it's not in the right position. Should be able to put it right here and then put it right on the end. Like that. Okay. So now this is going to get a redstone signal, and it should stay on even after this disappears for 200 seconds or more. I only should do 300 ticks. And we'll save that. So it's going to stay on for 300 ticks even after it disappears, even after the redstone signal is supposed to turn off. Okay, and we'll try that, and all I have to do is put my variable card in here, and this should be getting a redstone signal, and it's going to now start breaking all the crops, as you can see, and they should be getting sucked into the chest. The only items I'll have to worry about are the ones that go outside of the chest area. That is going to be the only issue. I think I can place blocks or something that'll prevent that from happening. Yeah, I can probably just set up blocks that'll prevent all that from happening. But I'm going to see... Okay, so it doesn't look like the 300 ticks was long enough. So that was an issue. So we can go up to 500 ticks, maybe? 500 I think would do fine. And all we have to do is take the seed here, place another one. There we go. That should turn on and say that it is actually on. And it should be feeding this a redstone signal again. And now it's going to last 500 seconds. It's working. As you can see, it does work. Slowly but surely it works. And then all of our items are going into here. Man, that is a lot of junk. A lot of junk items. I just really want to see, is the 500 going to be enough? I may actually bump that up even more. So I just don't think, yeah, I don't think 500 is even close to enough. Oh, I didn't even save it. Let's do 1,000. 1,000 ticks. We'll save that. And we should be good to go. I'll go ahead and break this last one, because it's not that big of a deal. And what I'm going to do is actually place blocks all around the outside perimeter, because that will prevent them from actually breaking outside. And it'll keep them all within range of everything we need. I guess I could put a facade on there. And same with this side, I'll just throw down some dirt. And I'll get rid of all these crops here. That way we can get all of our items and figure out what's good and what's not. There we go. Okay, so this should work. This should work okay. Now what we need to do is we need to get all of our magic beans and get them out of there and have them go elsewhere. So I think I'm going to try and use item ducts. So item ducts should work just fine. They're configurable, but we need to get some hardened, I guess, regular glass. Yeah. We can use hardened glass is all we need. So we need pulverized lead and pulverized obsidian. Pulverized lead and some obsidian. I'll take all of the obsidian. And what I'm gonna do is dig an actual hole, one down, and have the seeds actually going in there. So pulverize. I'm going to pulverize the obsidian. It should stay in here. It's actually pretty fast. Not too concerned about it there. Alright, and we'll go ahead and get that put in here. And we're going to get ourselves some hardened glass. There we go. Perfect. Hardened glass, ready to go. Fluid or item ducts should be easily made now. Okay, I think that's plenty. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Make sure that that's all out. Make sure that's in. There we go. And let's worry about some item ducts. Alright, so plain Jane item ducts require 10 and this. So, let's get as many item ducts as we can. We don't really need that many, but this will definitely help. Okay. I think we can get rid of just about everything in here because it's pretty much all junk. There we go. And now we can go back into thermodynamics and get ourselves just a basic servo. What do we need? An iron nugget. One iron nugget coming up. And we just need one servo. That's really all we need at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to run this all the way around and down because remember, if we place anything in here, it's going to get broken by this miner. So something you have to keep in mind. And I'm going to run this, I guess, around this side. That's probably going to be the best place for me to do it. Run this all across the side. Plus, we'll be able to see the items actually going through here, which is going to be pretty neat. Alright, let's mine all the way down. And I think it is just, yeah, it's just a couple blocks down here. There we go. See the water come out of there? That's when you know you've hit where you need to be. Perfect. Okay. So we'll place our water source block here. Or not water source block, our actually block. And we'll get our item ducts to come down through here. Perfect. There we go. And those will come up and meet right there. And bam, I can close that off. So we're good to go. Alright, so I need to set up a servo to extract items. And it's off by default because we need to actually put this in the filter. So this is our filter. It's going to blacklist the items. Or we can blacklist them, but we want it in whitelist mode. So this is the only one that's going to go. And it'll only do 8 at a time, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. And then we're going to turn the redstone signal to ignored. And we should start seeing some items. Hopefully magic beans coming out of here. Right? If everything is working correctly. It's going to make me a liar, ain't it? Ignored. Blacklist? There it goes. There we go. Now we have to. Now we're gonna have items coming out. So as you can see, you can actually see them inside the item ducts, which is pretty nice. And as you can see, that with this being off, this is all going to stay off, and we should not have to worry about much. Now on the planter, this is the one that I don't know too much about. So it says the inventory is locked. I don't know if I want to have it locked now that I think about it. Does that matter if it's locked? Okay, so it doesn't look like it matters if it's locked or not. And we need to set this to always active. And it should be planting. Should plant, right? Doesn't look like it's planting. That's the only issue. Always active. There we go. And then I can lock the inventory. Okay, so it's not planting, which is kind of surprising, because our actual work area... Oh, it needs to go up 1. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so I just need it to go up 1 more block. And then we'll be okay. Alright, that's my fault. Go ahead and break this. And I can break this. And we'll just change it so that way this goes up 1. We'll break you. I'll take that. Take the planter. And now the planter will go here. Perfect. That actually is even better. save some room down here. Alright, so now we should be able to put this in here. And lock it. And once this gets some energy, which it should be getting energy once I set it up, it'll start planting. I'm pretty sure. And then this whole process should be just about done. Alright, hopefully I can see the planter this time. There it is. Let's check. It is planting. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted it to do. Of course, I gotta put my upgrade back in here. So I'll put my upgrade back. And it should be good to go. And off to the races. Alright. Let me go back down here. Make sure everything's hooked up. And ready to go. So, we pretty much successfully automated this whole thing. And I'm enjoying it. This is awesome. This whole section is done. And I can gather all kinds of crazy items. As you can see right here, I mean, we got cake. What do we got? Fire charges, inrods. We got some iron. We got a whole bunch of different kinds of wool, glass. A whole bunch of stuff, man. I have ender slime balls. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that normally is just a nuisance to make, and I don't have to worry about it. I really don't. Okay, I guess I don't have enough. I wonder why it's not planting anymore. Huh. Oh, maybe it actually does do sides or something. I don't actually know. Should be planting everything, everywhere, but it doesn't look like it does. I think it'll probably need like the whole thing filled with magical beans to be able to get a jump start and keep going, so I'll take another stack of those. It's weird that it doesn't stack inside the actual machine. There we go. Let's see, yeah, it looks like it does some weird stuff here. But I'll make sure to get it organized. I don't think there's a round robin or anything like that, so we'll just have to keep going through its cycle. As long as there's a block here, should be good. Looks like it's about done. There it goes. Now it's finished planting everything. So what I'm going to do, I'll set it all like this, and hopefully it will continue to fill it up and keep going. So this has been very interesting. Hopefully you learned a little bit about integrated dynamics. I know I learned quite a bit by trying trial and error to try and get this to work. And I found that this is probably going to be the best way. Just using this one block reader. You could do multiple block readers and determine whether all of them are good, but I don't know how it would work with the redstone writer. That would be very confusing, and I don't know if there's even a way to do that. So, yeah. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please over to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and as always, thanks for watching.
Let's go!